The car's leather seats were cold against Eleonora's skin, but she barely felt it. Her hands trembled in her lap as Seoul's neon lights blurred past the tinted windows. The metallic smell of blood filled the space between them. Tae-Ho sat across from her, perfectly still except for his eyes, dark, intense, watching her every breath. Blood splattered his white uniform shirt in violent patterns. His knuckles were split and raw. "Where are we going?" Her voice came out smaller than she intended. "Somewhere safe." "That's not an answer. It's the only one I have right now." He leaned forward slightly. "Are you hurt?" She shook her head, not trusting her voice. "Elenora, look at me." She forced herself to meet his gaze. Those eyes that had seemed so magnetic in the cafeteria now held something darker, more dangerous, but also worried. "I need you to understand what just happened," he said quietly. "Those men? They work for the Jade Serpent gang, my family's biggest rival. The moment I protected you in front of everyone, you became a target, a way to get to me. I didn't ask for this." Her voice broke. "I didn't ask for any of this. I know." Something flickered across his face, regret, maybe. "But it doesn't matter what you asked for. It matters what is. And what is? You're marked now. They know your face. They know you matter to me. I don't matter to you. We just met yesterday." His jaw tightened. "Tell that to the 5 men I just killed to keep you breathing." The words hung in the air like smoke. 5 men, dead, because of her. "I'm going to be sick." "Driver, pull over." The car stopped. Tae-Ho opened the door and she stumbled out onto a quiet side street, gasping for air. Her stomach heaved but nothing came up. Just fear, pure and overwhelming. She felt him behind her, close but not touching. "Breathe," he said softly. "Just breathe. You killed them." She turned to face him. "You actually killed them?" "Yes." "And you feel nothing?" "I feel everything." His voice was steel. "I feel rage that they touched you, relief that you're alive, and absolutely zero regret for ending anyone who threatens what's mine. I'm not yours. You are now." He stepped closer, and she hated how her body responded. Pulse quickening, breath catching. "Whether you want to be or not, that's the reality. My world doesn't care about what's fair or what you deserve. It only cares about power and consequences. Then let me go. Tell them I mean nothing to you. They won't believe it. I showed my hand when I saved you." His eyes held hers. "And even if they did, I wouldn't." "Why?" He was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was different, vulnerable in a way she hadn't heard before. "Because when I saw that gun pressed to your ribs, I stopped being rational. I stopped calculating odds and exits. I just knew that if they hurt you, I'd burn their entire organization to the ground and paint Seoul red until I found every single person responsible." He exhaled slowly. "That's not strategic. That's not smart. That's something else." Eleonora's heart hammered. "You barely know me. I know enough." He reached out, his fingers brushing a curl away from her face. The gentleness contrasted sharply with the blood on his hands. "I know you're brave. You walked into that hallway like you owned it, even though you were terrified. I know you're brilliant, scholarship to a school most people would kill to attend. I know you don't back down, even when you should. That's not knowing someone. That's observing them. Then let me know you." His thumb traced her jawline. "Let me keep you safe while I do." She should pull away, should run, should call her mother and beg for a flight home. But she didn't. "I need you to understand the stakes," Tae-Ho continued. "My father controls half of Seoul's underground operations. Gambling, protection, import, export. The Jade Serpents want that control. They've been testing our boundaries for months. You just became the newest test. So what happens now? Now I take you somewhere they can't reach you. One of our safe houses. You stay there until—" "No." His eyebrows rose slightly. "No. I didn't cross an ocean and fight for a scholarship to hide in some safe house." She straightened, finding strength she didn't know she had. "I came here to study, to build a future. I'm not giving that up." You might not have a choice. There's always a choice. She met his intense gaze with her own determination. You said you want to know me? Then know this: I don't run. I don't hide. And I don't let anyone, not even a Mafia heir, tell me who I have to be. For the first time since the shooting, Tae-Ho smiled, small, but genuine. Stubborn. Determined. It's going to get you killed. Then I'll die on my terms, not hiding in fear. He studied her face, and she felt stripped bare under that gaze. Like he could see every fear, every hope, every secret she'd ever kept. All right, he said finally. We'll do this your way. But there are rules. Always rules with you. Rules keep you alive. He stepped closer, and she felt the heat of him, smelled his cologne mixed with gunpowder. Rule 1. You don't go anywhere alone. My men shadow you everywhere. You won't always see them, but they're watching. I'm not a prisoner. You're protected. There's a difference. His voice dropped. Rule 2. You check in with me. Morning, afternoon, night. I need to know you're safe. That's excessive. That's non-negotiable. His hand cupped her face, thumb brushing her cheek. Rule 3. If anything feels wrong, if anyone approaches you, if you notice something off, you call me immediately. Not campus security. Not the police. Me. Why not the police? Because the police can't protect you from my world. I can. His eyes burned into hers. Do you understand? She should say no. Should fight this. Should demand her freedom. But she'd seen the bodies in that courtyard. Felt the cold press of a gun against her ribs. Watched Tae-Ho move with lethal precision to save her. I understand. Good. He stepped back, and she felt the loss of his warmth immediately. Get back in the car. I'm taking you somewhere we can talk properly. Where you can clean up, eat something, process what happened. And then you decide. He held the car door open. Stay in my protection, or take your chances alone. But know this, Elenora. If you walk away, I can't guarantee your safety. And the thought of you hurt, scared, alone. His jaw clenched. That's not something I'm willing to live with. She got back in the car. As they drove through Seoul's glittering streets, Elenora realized her life had split into two distinct parts. Before Tae-Ho, and after. And there was no going back. Before we continue, kindly let us know where you're watching from. What time is it over there? Drop a comment and let me know. I love knowing where in the world this story is reaching. Are you Team Tae-Ho, Team Min-Chu, or still deciding? Tell me your thoughts so far. The penthouse was everything Elenora expected and nothing she was prepared for. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's skyline. Minimalist furniture that probably cost more than her mother's annual salary. Art on the walls that belonged in museums. Tae-Ho led her to a bathroom. Clean up. There are clothes in the closet. Take whatever you need. I'll have food brought up. She looked down at herself. Her uniform was dirty, torn at the knee. She hadn't even noticed. Tae-Ho. He turned back. Thank you for saving me. Something softened in his expression. Always. When he left, she finally let herself break. Quiet tears in an expensive bathroom, washing blood that wasn't hers down a marble sink. 20 minutes later, she emerged in borrowed clothes, an oversized shirt and sweatpants that were still too luxurious to be comfortable. Tae-Ho had changed too, the bloodied uniform gone, replaced by a simple black t-shirt and jeans. He looked younger like this, almost normal. Eat. He gestured to the spread on the dining table. Korean food, American food, everything in between. I'm not hungry. Eat anyway. You're in shock. Your body needs fuel. She sat, picking at japshi while he watched. The silence stretched between them. I can't do this, she said finally. Can't do what? Hide. Play prisoner. Give up everything I worked for. She set down her chopsticks. I want to go back to school. Back to my dorm. Back to my life. Your life almost ended today. And it'll end faster if I give up everything I came here for. She met his eyes. You said you wanted to know me? Then understand this, my education is everything. My mother cleaned houses for years to support my dreams. I studied until my eyes burned. I earned this opportunity, and I won't let anyone, not even you, take it from me. Tae-Ho was quiet for a long moment. You're serious? Completely. You understand they'll try again? That going back to school makes you an easy target. Then make me a hard one. She leaned forward. You said you protect what's yours. So protect me. But don't cage me. His laugh was sharp, almost surprised. You're either the bravest person I've ever met or the most foolish. Maybe both. He studied her and she felt that gaze like a physical touch. Assessing, calculating, deciding. Fine, he said finally. You want to go back? We'll do it your way. But my rules stand. I can live with rules. Can you? He stood, moving around the table until he was close enough to touch. Because I'm not talking about curfews and check-ins. I'm talking about my men watching your every move, following you to class, standing outside your dorm. You'll feel suffocated. Better suffocated than dead. Fair point. His fingers brushed her jaw. But know this, if they come for you again, I won't be merciful. I won't be strategic. I'll be apocalyptic. Her breath caught. Why do you care so much? Still figuring that out myself. His thumb traced her lower lip. But I do. So you follow my rules, you stay alive, and maybe we both figure out what this is. This? Whatever's happening between us. His voice dropped. Don't pretend you don't feel it. She couldn't. The pull was undeniable, magnetic, dangerous, inevitable. I feel it, she whispered. I just don't know if I should. Probably not. He stepped back. I'll take you to your dorm in the morning. Get some sleep. Tomorrow you go back to being a student. And I go back to being a shadow. Morning came too quickly. Tae-Ho drove her back to campus himself, the black car drawing stairs as it pulled up to her dormitory. My men are already in position, he said. You won't always see them, but they're there. 2 in the building, 3 around campus. If anything happens, I call you. I know. Elenora. He caught her hand. Be careful. Please. I will. She climbed out and students watched her walk inside. The whispers started immediately. By lunch, everyone knew she'd left with Tae-Ho after the shooting. Theories ranged from witness protection to secret girlfriend to hostage situation. Elenora ignored them all, throwing herself into calculus homework in the library. Elenora? She looked up. Min-Seo stood there with her usual crew. But something was different. The queen bee looked rattled. Can we talk? Min-Seo's voice had an edge. Privately, they moved to an empty study room. Min-Seo's friends stayed outside, watching through the glass. You need to stay away from Tae-Ho, Min-Seo said immediately. That's not your decision to make. You don't understand what you're getting into. His world. I've seen his world. Elenora stood, meeting Min-Seo's gaze directly. I've had guns pointed at me. I've watched people die. So whatever threat you're about to make, save it. I've survived worse than your jealousy. Min-Seo's face flushed red. Jealousy? You think this is about jealousy? Isn't it? Elenora stepped closer. You've been trying to intimidate me since day one because Tae-Ho looked at me instead of you. But here's what you need to understand. I didn't ask for his attention. I didn't scheme or manipulate. I just existed, and that was enough. You have no idea who he is. And you do? When's the last time he spoke to you, Min-Seo? When's the last time he even looked your way? Elenora's voice was steel. You're angry at me for something I didn't orchestrate. But I'm done being your punching bag. You scholarship students always think you're so special. No. Elenora cut her off. I don't think I'm special. I think I'm worthy. There's a difference. I worked my ass off to be here. I crossed an ocean, left my mother, sacrificed everything for this opportunity. You were born into privilege. I earned mine. So yes, we are not the same. Min-Seo's hands clenched into fists. You think you're so much better than me. I think I know my value. Elenora picked up her bag. And no amount of your threats or tantrums will make me forget what I'm worth. I didn't come here to be small. I came here to build a future. And you? You're just a bump in the road. She walked out, leaving Min-Seo trembling with rage. Other students had watched through the glass. Watched the scholarship student stand up to the queen bee. Watched Min-Seo get put in her place for the first time. Whispers followed Elenora down the hallway, but this time they were different. Impressed. Respectful. She felt powerful. Like herself again. Between classes, her phone buzzed. I heard what you said to Min-Seo. My men reported back. You have people watching me in the library? I have people watching you everywhere. But for what it's worth, I'm proud of you. For standing up to a bully? For remembering who you are. Don't lose that. My world tries to take it from everyone who enters. Don't let it take it from you. She stared at the message, something warm spreading through her chest. Elenora. She turned. Min-Chu stood in the hallway, his brown hair slightly disheveled. His eyes red-rimmed like he hadn't slept. Can we talk? Please. She hesitated. After everything, the manipulation, the lies, the confrontation on the rooftop, she should say no. But he looked so broken. 5 minutes, she said. They moved to a quiet alcove. Min-Chu kept his distance, like he was afraid to get too close. I'm sorry, he said immediately. For everything. For manipulating our meeting. For lying. For all of it. Why did you do it? Because I saw your photo in the application files. Read your essay about your mother, your dreams. And I thought. He ran a hand through his hair. I thought maybe you could be real. In a school full of fake people playing fake roles, you seem genuine. So you decided to manipulate me? I know how it sounds. I know it was wrong. His eyes were desperate. But everything after, my feelings, my concern, my care, that was all real. I swear to you, Elenora, I didn't plan to fall for you. It just happened. She wanted to believe him. Part of her did believe him. Min-Chu, I came here to study, to build a future. And right now, I need to focus on that. She kept her voice gentle but firm. I appreciate your honesty, but I need space. I need to focus on why I'm here. Because of Tae-Ho? The edge in his voice was sharp. Because of me. She met his eyes. This isn't about him. It's about me reclaiming my life, my purpose. Can you understand that? He was quiet for a long moment. I can try. Thank you. She started to walk away. Elenora. His voice stopped her. Just be careful around him. Please. He's more dangerous than you know. Everyone keeps telling me that. She looked back. But maybe I'm more dangerous than everyone thinks. She left him standing there, and she didn't see the way his hands clenched. Didn't see the flash of something dark in his eyes. Didn't see the mask slipping. 3 days passed in a strange new rhythm. Elenora went to classes, studied in the library, pretended everything was normal. But she felt them. Tae-Ho's guards, shadows that followed at a distance. Sometimes she'd catch a glimpse. A man in a suit reading a newspaper that never turned pages. Another always 2 tables away in the cafeteria. She texted Tae-Ho 3 times a day like clockwork. Morning, afternoon, night. He made it to lit class. Still breathing. Smartass. Pay attention to Mrs. Kong. How do you know what class I have? I know everything about you. Your schedule. Your favorite study spot. That you bite your lip when you're concentrating. That's creepy. That's protection. There's a difference. She hated how the messages made her smile. Min-Chu kept his distance, but she felt his eyes on her constantly. In the hallways, across the cafeteria, through classroom windows, always watching, never approaching. It should have felt like relief. Instead, it felt like the calm before a storm. Thursday afternoon, Elenora stayed late in the library working on a calculus problem set. The sun was setting when she finally packed up, her brain fried from derivatives and integrals. The parking lot was nearly empty. Most students had left hours ago. Her footsteps echoed on the pavement as she headed toward the bus stop. Elenora. She turned. Min-Chu stood by a car 20 feet away, his hands in his pockets, his expression unreadable. Min-Chu, what are you doing here? Waiting for you. He moved closer, and something about his posture made her instinctively step back. "We need to talk. I have to catch my bus. This can't wait." He was closer now, closing the distance between them. "Please, just give me 5 minutes." She glanced around. The parking lot was empty except for a few scattered cars. Where were Tae-Ho's men? "Okay, 5 minutes. I've been thinking about what you said. About needing space, needing to focus on your studies." His voice was calm, measured, too calm. "And I understand. I do. But I can't stand by and watch you make a mistake." "What mistake?" "Tae-Ho." He said the name like a curse. "You're getting closer to him. I see it. Everyone sees it. That's not your concern. It is when you're walking into danger." His voice rose sharply, then dropped again. "You don't know him like I do. You don't know what he's capable of. I've seen what he's capable of." She kept her voice steady. "And I'm still here. Because he's manipulating you." Min-Chu moved closer, and Elenora found herself backing up until she hit a car. "He's making you think you're choosing this, but you're not. You're trapped. He's trapped you." "Min-Chu, you're too close." "No, you need to listen." His hands came up, gripping her shoulders. Not hard but firm. Insistent. "I'm trying to save you. Why can't you see that? Let go of me." "Not until you hear me." His eyes were wild now, desperate. "Everything I did, the manipulation, the lies, I did it because I care about you. Because from the moment I saw your photo, I knew you were special. You were supposed to be mine, Elenora. Mine to protect. Mine to let go." She tried to push him away, but he grabbed her wrists. "You don't understand." His grip tightened, and real fear spiked through her. "He's a criminal, a murderer, and you're just gonna throw yourself at him because what? He's dangerous? He's exciting? You're hurting me." She pulled hard, but he held firm. "I would never hurt you. I'm trying to help you." But his fingers dug into her wrists, his body pinning her against the car. "Why can't you see that? Why do you keep choosing him over me?" "Because you're scaring me." The words tore out of her. "This, right now, this is why. You say you care about me, but you're holding me against my will. I'm making you listen. You're assaulting me." Something flickered in his eyes, awareness, maybe, or hurt, but he didn't let go. "I'm not like him," Min-Chu said, his voice dropping to something almost pleading. "I'm good. I'm safe. I'm everything he's not. Why can't you see that?" "Safe." Eleonora's voice shook. "You're holding me in a parking lot against my will. How is this safe?" "Because I love you." The words exploded out of him. "I love you and I can't stand watching him take you from me. You were supposed to be mine. From the moment you walked through those gates, you were supposed to be mine. I don't belong to anyone." She struggled again, and this time his grip tightened enough to hurt. "Let me go or I'll scream. And who'll hear you? Who'll come?" His face was inches from hers now. "Your bodyguards? They're not here, Elenora. It's just us. Finally, it's just us. And you're going to listen." She said let go. The voice was ice. Min-Chu froze. Tae-Ho stood 10 feet away, and Elenora had never seen him look like this. Cold fury radiated from him in waves. His eyes were black pits, his jaw set, his entire body coiled like a spring ready to snap. "This doesn't concern you," Min-Chu said, not releasing her. "Take your hands off her." Tae-Ho's voice was soft, deadly. "Now. Or what? You'll kill me like you killed those men?" Min-Chu's laugh was brittle. "I'm not afraid of you. You should be." Tae-Ho moved. 1 second he was 10 feet away. The next, his hand was around Min-Chu's throat, slamming him against the car next to Elenora. Min-Chu's grip on her wrists released instantly. "You hurt her?" Tae-Ho said quietly, looking at the red marks already forming on Eleonora's wrists. "You put your hands on her. You scared her. I was trying to save her from you." Min-Chu gasped, clawing at Tae-Ho's hand. "You were trying to possess her." Tae-Ho leaned closer. "There's a difference. And now I'm going to show you what happens when someone touches what's mine." "Tae-Ho." Eleonora's voice cut through the violence. Don't. He didn't look at her. His eyes locked on Min-Chu. He hurt you. And killing him won't fix that. She stepped closer, touching his arm. Please. She felt the tension in him, the barely controlled rage, the desire to hurt, to punish, to destroy. For a long moment, she thought he wouldn't listen. Then his grip loosened, and Min-Chu dropped to his knees, gasping. You're lucky she has mercy, Tae-Ho said softly. Because I don't. He crouched down, getting eye level with Min-Chu. Touch her again. Look at her wrong, breathe in her direction, and I won't ask for permission. I'll end you, slowly. Do you understand? Min-Chu nodded, still gasping. Say it. I understand. Good. Tae-Ho stood, stepping back. Now disappear before I change my mind. Min-Chu scrambled to his feet and ran. Literally ran, across the parking lot to his car. Tires squealed as he peeled out. Silence fell. Tae-Ho turned to Elenora, and the cold fury melted into something else. Concern, fear, tenderness. Let me see. He took her hands gently, examining her wrists. The red marks were already darkening to bruises. His jaw clenched. I should have killed him. You shouldn't have had to save me at all. Her voice shook. Where were your guards? North entrance. He timed it perfectly, knew their rotation. Tae-Ho's thumb brushed carefully over her bruised wrist. I'm sorry. I should have been more careful. How did you know? You were late checking in. You're never late. His dark eyes met hers. I broke every traffic law getting here. Something about that, the admission that he'd been worried, that he'd dropped everything to reach her, made her chest tight. He said he loves me, she whispered. That's not love. Tae-Ho's voice was gentle but firm. Love doesn't trap. Love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't require force. And what you do, killing people, controlling my schedule, having me followed everywhere, that's love. No. He cupped her face, his touch infinitely careful. That's protection. But this, his thumb brushed her cheek. The way I can't breathe right when you're late checking in? The way I drove like hell was chasing me to get here? The way seeing you scared makes me want to burn the world. His voice dropped. I don't know what that is yet, but it's not possession. It's not control. It's something else. Something dangerous. Everything about me is dangerous. He stepped closer, and she felt the heat of him, the magnetic pull that never quite faded. But I'd never hurt you, never trap you, never take away your choice. His eyes searched hers. You believe that, don't you? She should say no. Should run from him like she should have run from the start. But looking at him now, seeing the genuine fear in his eyes, the careful way he touched her bruises, the raw honesty in his voice, she found she couldn't. I believe you, she whispered. Good. He pulled back slightly. Come on. I'm taking you home. And this time, I'm personally assigning guards who won't miss anything. As they walked to his car, Elenora glanced back at the empty parking lot. Somewhere out there, Min-Chu was spiraling. She'd seen it in his eyes, the moment the last thread of sanity snapped. The nice guy mask had finally shattered, and what lay beneath was terrifying. 2 days crawled by like open wounds. Elenora covered the bruises on her wrists with long sleeves, but every time the fabric brushed against them, she remembered. Min-Chu's fingers digging in, his wild eyes. The moment she'd realized the nice guy was a lie. Her phone buzzed during lunch. How are the bruises? Fading. Liar. But I appreciate the effort. She smiled despite herself. Min-Chu's seat in advanced literature remained empty. Day 1, she'd felt relief. Day 2, unease crept in. By day 3, the whispers started. I heard he had a breakdown. My cousin said he withdrew from school. Someone saw him talking to himself in the parking lot before he disappeared. Elenora tried to focus on derivatives and Korean literature, but the unease wouldn't leave. That look in his eyes when Tae-Ho had pulled him off her. That wasn't someone who'd just give up. That was someone planning. Friday afternoon, her phone lit up. Meet me tonight. 8 p.m. Sending address. Why? Because we need to talk. Really talk. And I'm tired of doing it with guards and cameras and my world pressing in on us. You where? Somewhere neutral. Somewhere that's just ours for a few hours. Her heart did something complicated in her chest. Okay. Where something comfortable. And Elenora? Trust me. She did. God help her, she did. The address took her to the industrial district. Abandoned buildings loomed like tombstones against the night sky. Tae-Ho's car waited in front of a warehouse that looked ready to collapse. 2 guards nodded as she approached. Roof. He's waiting. She climbed stairs that groaned under her weight, each step taking her higher, further from safety, deeper into whatever this was becoming. The rooftop door opened to Seoul spreading before her like scattered diamonds. The city breathed below, alive, glittering, indifferent to the girl standing above it trying to figure out how her life had spiraled so completely. Tae-Ho stood at the edge, hands in his pockets, looking out over his kingdom. The wind pulled at his dark hair. He looked almost peaceful. Why here? She asked. He turned, and the peace evaporated. His eyes held storms. Because this isn't my territory, isn't theirs. Just empty space where we can exist without the weight of everything else. He moved toward her. No guards listening. No rivals watching. Just us. You said we needed to talk about Min-Chu. I lied. I mean, we do. But that's not why I brought you here. He stopped close enough that she felt his warmth. I brought you here because I'm tired of pretending I don't feel this. That every time my phone goes silent when you're supposed to check in, my world stops. That seeing your bruises makes me want to find Min-Chu and finish what I started. Tae-Ho, let me finish. His jaw was tight. I had my people look into him. Really look. And 3 years ago, a girl. Middle school. He was obsessed with her. When she chose someone else, that boy ended up in the hospital. Broken bones. Internal bleeding. They couldn't prove it was Min-Chu. But the girl knew. She filed a restraining order and disappeared. The night air suddenly felt colder. Before that, his mother left. Just walked out when he was 10. His father went cold. Distant. Min-Chu spent years trying to be perfect, trying to earn love back. But he learned the wrong lesson. Tae-Ho's voice was quiet, deadly serious. He learned that love is control. That if you don't own something completely, it'll leave you. So when I came along, you were supposed to be his. In his broken mind, you already were. He just had to execute the plan perfectly. Tae-Ho's fingers brushed her wrist, careful of the fading bruises. But then I sat with you at lunch, and everything he'd built shattered. I made my own choice. I know, but try telling him that. His thumb traced her pulse point. He's dangerous, Elenora. More dangerous than my world because at least my violence is honest. His hides behind gentleness until it explodes. What do we do? We. His lips curved slightly. I like that word. Don't deflect. I'm not. He stepped closer, and she felt her breath catch. I'm acknowledging that you just said we, like you're in this with me, like you've chosen a side. Maybe I have. Have you? The question was intense, searching. Because if you want out, if you want to go back to America, back to safety, I'll make it happen. I'll have you on a plane tomorrow. Guards watching until you're home. And then I'll spend the rest of my life wondering what it would have been like if you'd stayed. Her heart hammered. That's emotional manipulation. That's honesty. His hand cupped her face. I won't lie to you. Won't pretend I'm noble. If you leave, it'll destroy something in me. But I'll let you go because your safety, your happiness, your choice. Those matter more than what I want. And what do you want? You. Here. Choosing me even though you shouldn't. Even though I'm danger wrapped in expensive suits. Even though loving me means living in a world most people only see in nightmares. His eyes burned. I want you to be mine in every way that matters. Not because I forced it. Not because circumstance trapped you. But because you looked at all of this, the violence, the darkness, the impossible complications, and chose it anyway. That's insane. Probably. His thumb brushed her lower lip. But I stopped caring about sanity the moment you bumped into Min-Chu and I realized I was jealous of books scattered on a marble floor. You were watching? I'm always watching. He leaned closer. You walked into my world in those curls and that uniform and suddenly nothing else mattered. Not territory. Not rivals. Not my father's expectations. Just you. Tae-Ho, I came here to study. I know. And you still can. You should. Be brilliant. Build your future. Become everything you're meant to be. His forehead touched hers. But let me be there while you do it. Let me keep you safe. Let me... His voice dropped to something raw. Let me love you the only way I know how. Which is... completely, obsessively, with every violent, possessive, fucked up part of me that knows I should let you go but can't. She should run. Every logical synapse fired warnings. Danger. Criminal. Wrong choice. But logic had left the building the moment his hands touched her face. What if I can't handle your world? Then I'll burn it down and build you something new. That's not realistic. I don't care about realistic. I care about you. His eyes searched hers, desperate and fierce. Tell me to stop. Tell me you don't want this. Tell me to walk away and I will. But tell me now, because if I kiss you, if I finally taste you, there's no going back. You'll be mine and I'll be yours and everything else can burn for all I care. Her breath came fast. His hands on her face. His body close. The city lights below like witnesses to something inevitable. Don't stop, she whispered. He kissed her. The world exploded. It wasn't gentle. Wasn't careful. It was hunger and desperation and months compressed into seconds. His hands tangled in her curls, tilting her head to deepen the kiss. Her fingers gripped his shirt, needing an anchor as everything spun. He tasted like danger and promises, like every wrong choice that felt impossibly right. When they broke apart, both gasping, he didn't let her go. Mine, he breathed against her lips. Yours, she whispered back, and felt the truth of it sink into her bones like fate. He kissed her again, softer this time, tender in a way that made her chest ache, like she was something precious, something worth protecting even from himself. When they finally pulled apart, the Seoul skyline glittered behind them, indifferent, beautiful, unaware that everything had just changed. Across the street, hidden in shadows, Min-Seo lowered her binoculars. Her hands shook. Her perfect makeup couldn't hide the tears streaming down her face. She'd followed Tae-Ho here, hoping this was business, hoping his interest in the scholarship girl was fading. But that kiss destroyed every hope she'd clung to. She pulled out her phone, scrolling to a contact she'd been debating for days. Min-Seo, I know where you are. I know you've been asking about Tae-Ho. We should talk. Min-Chu, why would I talk to you? Min-Seo, because I want him back. You want her back. And right now, they're on a rooftop kissing like the world doesn't exist. The typing indicator appeared. Stopped. Appeared again. Min-Chu, I'm listening. Min-Seo watched Tae-Ho pull Elenora close again. Watched her melt into him. Watched everything she'd ever wanted slip away. Min-Seo, the Jade Serpents. Tae-Ho's enemies. They want him destroyed. If we help them, they'll help us get what we want. Min-Chu, you're talking about joining a gang. Min-Seo, I'm talking about fighting back. He took her from you. She took him from me. Don't you want to make them pay? She watched them kiss again. Watched Eleonora's fingers in his hair. Watched him hold her like she was oxygen. Min-Seo, meet me tomorrow. 2 p.m. Usual cafe. I'll explain everything. Min-Chu, this is insane. Min-Seo, so is watching the person you love choose someone else. So is doing nothing while they destroy us. Long pause. Then, Min-Chu, what would I have to do? Victory surged through her veins. Min-Seo, come tomorrow. I'll tell you everything. But know this, by the time we're done, Tae-Ho will lose everything. His power, his family, her, Min-Chu. And if she still chooses him after? Min-Seo's fingers tightened on her phone. Her red nails looked like blood in the streetlight. Min-Seo, then we make sure she can't choose anyone. She sent it. Watched the message deliver. Watched the read receipt appear. Then she turned away from the rooftop, her designer heels clicking against pavement. Each step deliberate, purposeful. She'd spent years being perfect for Tae-Ho. Years of careful beauty, practiced charm, strategic positioning. And he'd chosen some American girl after 3 days. No more playing nice. No more waiting patiently. If she couldn't have him, nobody would. The next afternoon, Min-Chu sat in a corner booth, coffee cooling in front of him. He looked different, thinner, eyes hollow, the warmth completely gone. Min-Seo slid into the seat across from him. You came. I shouldn't be here. But he didn't leave. No, you should be watching the girl you love kiss another man. Min-Seo pulled out her phone, showing him the photos she'd taken. Tae-Ho and Elenora. The kiss. Her hands in his hair. His hands on her waist. This is what doing nothing gets you. Min-Chu stared at the photos. Something flickered across his face. Pain? Rage? Something darker. You tried being nice, Min-Seo continued. Being patient. Being the good guy. Where did it get you? Bruises and threats and watching her fall for a criminal. She made her choice. Did she? Or did he manipulate her? Min-Seo leaned forward. He saved her life. Made her dependent on him. That's not love. That's control. She's confused, traumatized, clinging to her captor. Classic Stockholm Syndrome. You don't know that. I know she needs saving. And I know we can save them both. Min-Seo's voice dropped. The Jade Serpents want Tae-Ho gone. They'll help us. All we have to do is give them information. Help them execute their plan. And when it's over, when he's gone, she'll be free. Safe. And she'll finally see you were right all along. Min-Chu's hands clenched. This is insane. So is letting a criminal steal the person you love. Min-Seo's eyes glittered. I've loved Tae-Ho since middle school. Loved him when he was just a boy with sad eyes. Made myself perfect for him. And he looked right through me for years. Then she shows up and suddenly he's human again? Suddenly he feels something? Her voice cracked. That should have been me, she whispered. I earned him. You earned her. And they just took what was ours. Min-Chu stared at the photos. Eleonora's smile. Her hands in Tae-Ho's hair. Choosing wrong. Choosing danger. Choosing anyone but him. What would we have to do? He heard himself ask. Min-Seo smiled sharp, cold, victorious. Meet them with me. Tonight. Hear their plan. And then decide if you love her enough to save her from herself. The warehouse was in the industrial district, far from the glittering heart of Seoul. Rusted metal, broken windows, the smell of oil and decay. Min-Chu's hands shook as he walked toward the entrance. This is for her. This is to save her. He repeated it like a mantra, but the words felt hollow. 2 men in dark suits flanked the door. They didn't speak, just gestured him inside. The warehouse was dimly lit, shadows pooling in corners. 20 men stood scattered throughout, all watching him with cold, calculating eyes. And in the center, sitting on a metal crate like a throne, was the man Min-Seo had told him about. Kang Dae-young, leader of the Jade Serpents. He was older than Tae-Ho, mid-30s maybe, with a scar running from his temple to his jaw. His eyes were flat, emotionless. The eyes of someone who'd killed so many times it no longer registered as significant. So, Dae-young's voice was smoke and gravel. You're the boy who wants to destroy Lee Tae-Ho. Min-Chu's throat was dry. I want to protect someone from him. Same thing, isn't it? Dae-young gestured to a chair. Sit. Tell me about the girl. Min-Chu sat, feeling 20 pairs of eyes on him. Predators assessing prey. Her name is Elenora. She's an exchange student. Scholarship. She doesn't belong in this world. But Tae-Ho dragged her into it anyway. Dae-young lit a cigarette. He has a habit of destroying beautiful things. His father's the same way. She's not a thing. The words came out sharper than intended. Dae-young smiled cold, amused, protective. Good. That's what we need. He leaned forward. Here's the situation. The Lee family controls the Eastern Territories. Shipping, gambling, protection. We want it. We've been testing their defenses for months. But Tae-Ho's good. Smart. Ruthless. Every move we make he counters. What does this have to do with Elenora? Everything. Dae-Young blew smoke into the air. Tae-Ho's weakness isn't his operation. It's his heart. And right now, his heart is wrapped around your girl. She's not. Min-Chu stopped himself. What are you planning? We take her. Use her as bait. Draw Tae-Ho out to a location of our choosing. And then, Dae-Young's smile widened. We end the heir. Take his territory. Dismantle his father's empire piece by piece. You said you wouldn't hurt her. I said we'd use her as leverage. What happens after? Dae-Young shrugged. Depends on how cooperative she is. Min-Chu stood. No. I won't help you hurt her. Sit down. The command was soft but absolute. Around the warehouse, men shifted. Hands moved to weapons. You came here. You walked through that door. You don't get to leave until we're done talking. Min-Chu sat, his heart hammering. Let me tell you what happens if you walk away. Dae-Young continued. Tae-Ho finds out you came here. That you met with his enemies. How long do you think you survive? A day? An hour? He leaned closer. But if you help us, if you give us the information we need, when this is over, when Tae-Ho's dead and his empire crumbles, you get the girl. Free and clear. She'll hate me. She'll be alive. And eventually she'll understand. You saved her from a monster. Dae-Young's eyes were flat. Dead. That's love. Isn't it? Doing whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Min-Chu's mind spun. He thought about Eleonora's laugh. Her smile. The way she'd looked at him that first day, warm, genuine. Like he mattered. Then he thought about her in that parking lot. In Tae-Ho's arms. The way she'd looked at him with fear. With betrayal. Because of Tae-Ho. Because Tae-Ho had poisoned her against him. What do you need from me? He heard himself ask. Dae-Young's smile was victory. Her schedule. Her routine. When Tae-Ho's guards rotate. Where she's most vulnerable. The guards are everywhere. Guards can be dealt with. We just need to know when and where. Dae-Young pulled out a tablet, showing a map of the school. Walk me through her typical day. Min-Chu hesitated. This was the moment. The point of no return. I'm doing this for her. To save her. To free her. He started talking. An hour later, Min-Chu stumbled out of the warehouse into cold night air. His hands were still shaking. His stomach churned with nausea. What have I done? But it was too late now. The information was given. The plan was in motion. His phone buzzed. Min-Seo. Did you meet them? Min-Chu, yes. Min-Seo. And? Min-Chu, it's done. They're moving forward. Min-Seo, good. By next week, Tae-Ho will be gone. And we'll get what we want. Min-Chu stared at the messages. Then typed. Min-Chu. What if she never forgives us? Min-Seo, she will. Eventually. And if she doesn't, well, at least she won't have him. He wanted to throw his phone. Wanted to scream. Wanted to go back in time and never walk into that warehouse. But instead, he just stood there in the cold, watching his breath mist in the air. I'm doing this for her. But the words felt like lies now. He needed to see her. Needed to remember why he was doing this. Min-Chu drove to campus, parking where he could see Eleonora's dorm. The lights in her window were on. Her shadow moved past the curtain, studying probably. Being brilliant and beautiful and completely unaware of what was coming. His phone lit up with a photo notification. Min-Seo had sent him something. It was a picture from earlier, Tae-Ho and Elenora on that rooftop. Kissing. Her hands in his hair. His hands on her waist. The city lights behind them like a goddamn romantic movie. Min-Chu's vision went red. She chose him. She chose a monster. He pulled up old photos on his phone. From before. The first day. Elenora laughing at something he'd said. Elenora in the library. Biting her lip as she concentrated. Elenora looking at him with warmth and trust. Before Tae-Ho ruined everything. His mother had looked at him like that once. With warmth and love. And then she'd left. Just packed a bag one day and disappeared. Leaving him with a father who blamed him for her absence. If you'd been better, his father had said. If you'd been worth staying for, she wouldn't have left. He'd spent years trying to be perfect. Perfect grades, perfect behavior, perfect son. But perfect was never enough. People always left, unless you made sure they couldn't. Flashback. 7 years ago, Min-Chu watched Ji-yoon from across the school cafeteria. She was beautiful. Long black hair, bright smile, the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed. He'd loved her for 6 months, brought her coffee, walked her to class, been patient and kind and everything a boyfriend should be. But she'd chosen someone else. Park Jin-ho, some athlete with a cocky smile and empty head. I'm sorry, she'd said, so gentle it hurt worse. You're sweet, Min-Chu, but I just don't feel that way about you. He'd accepted it, smiled, said he understood, and then he'd followed Jin-ho after school, caught him alone in the parking lot. Stay away from her, Min-Chu had said. Jin-ho had laughed. Or what, psycho? The first punch had felt good, the second better. By the fifth, Jin-ho was on the ground, begging. If I can't have her, Min-Chu had whispered. No one can. Jin-ho had ended up in the hospital. Broken ribs, shattered jaw, internal bleeding. They'd never proved it was Min-Chu. He'd been too careful, too smart. But Ji-yoon had known. The way she'd looked at him after, with fear, with horror. He'd seen the truth in her eyes. She'd transferred schools 2 weeks later. And Min-Chu had learned an important lesson. Love requires control. Complete, absolute control. And now, Min-Chu stared at Elenora's window, and that old lesson echoed in his mind. She was slipping away, choosing wrong, choosing danger over safety, violence over kindness, a criminal over him. But he could fix it. He would fix it. The Jade Serpents would take Tae-Ho out of the picture, permanently, and when Elenora was alone, scared, vulnerable, he'd be there, the only safe thing in a world of violence. She'd see. Eventually, she'd understand. And if she didn't, his hands clenched on the steering wheel. If she didn't, well, he'd learned long ago how to make sure the things he loved couldn't leave. His phone buzzed again. This time, a message from an unknown number. Unknown, next Wednesday, 3 p.m. She leaves advanced literature and walks to the library. That's when we move. Be ready. Min-Chu. Ready for what? Unknown to save her. Isn't that what you want? To be her hero? Min-Chu stared at the message. Wednesday. 3 days away. 3 days until Tae-Ho's world burned. 3 days until he got Elenora back. I'm doing this for her. I'm saving her. He repeated it again and again, trying to make himself believe it. But deep down, in the place where truth lives regardless of the lies we tell ourselves, he knew. This wasn't about saving her. This was about owning her. And he was willing to destroy anyone, everyone who stood in his way. Min-Chu started the car and drove away into the Seoul night, leaving Elenora's window glowing behind him. She studied, completely unaware. Unaware that the boy she'd tried to be kind to had broken completely. Unaware that in 3 days everything would explode. Unaware that the real danger wasn't the Mafia heir who'd claimed her. It was the boy who'd worn the mask of kindness while obsession rotted him from the inside out. Wednesday was coming. And with it, blood. What happens next? Will Elenora survive the Jade Serpent's attack? Can Tae-Ho protect her from an enemy he doesn't see coming? And when Min-Chu's betrayal is revealed, will there be any path to redemption? Or only destruction? Episode 3 drops soon. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the explosive continuation. This is where everything falls apart. Drop a comment. Do you think Min-Chu can still be saved? Or has he gone too far? Are you Team Tae-Ho all the way now? Or do you still have sympathy for Min-Chu? Let me know your thoughts. See you in episode 3, where everything burns.